How has this
Yeah.
time been for you, Dmitry, being away from the ring for so long? Has it been frustrating at all?
Not too much frustrating, but I had this experience before uh, in the pandemic. Yeah, I didn't fight 1.5 year. This time it was a little bit different. Uh, I had my personal changes in my life. I had my injury, and I was covering my another problems with the health, with the health. Some some small problems. Every athlete has some small problems with shoulders, with knee, with elbows, and I feel like when you are taking car to the service, and after service you are taking it, and it's better. You and now I feel like I got my service uh, physically and mentally. I little bit uh, become mm, become uh, more confident, I think.
Oh, wow. Why?
Uh, I think I just thought about my last fight, and I just accepted what I did last year, and now I just see more clear my future with my career, mm, more calm, more confident.
Hmm. The goal for you is undisputed at 175 pounds. But given
Yeah.
your last fight against Zurdo was a dominating fight from you, do you feel, given the time off, that when you return, like you mentioned in December, late December or January, that you could be that good, or if not better, in this return fight?
Only that time will show us how I will be. I can tell that I will worse, I will better. Uh, it's interesting for me too. I hope, of course, I will be better because now I have more experience than before my last fight. I hope that I'm getting better.
Given that you've been away for so long, is there extra motivation, or something you want to prove to people, to fans, in this return fight?
Uh, you mean in January?
Yes.
Uh, um, how I see it. I don't want to prove to somebody something. I want to prove myself that I have my skills, and I need to how to say it, realize my potential.
Hmm.
You know, I, for this I have big goal. Yeah, to be undisputed champion. To be undisputed champion, you have to move. You have to do some steps, and I see the fight in January. Of course, it's one of the steps to my goal, which I have to through, which I have to go through. Uh, but it's still serious fight. It's still I have to be ready. I have to get serious this fight, like it's my last fight in my life. Um, this is my thoughts.
Yeah, no, interesting. Is there something from that last fight that you're looking at now, and you're looking to improve in this camp, if anything?
Uh, Yeah, of course. I wanna use more combinations. I wanna I wanna I wanna mm, push more. Uh, if it makes sense. Yeah, I wanna move forward more
Pressure
and
more.
pressure more. Yeah, I wanna pressure more. I wanna use some another punches. I wanna use more body punches. Yeah, of course. Every time I wanna improve something. I wanna be better, of course. There is no fight which I had that I was happy for 100%, maximum 80%, because I see my fight and I see I I should do this better. I should be here better. I should prove myself, or, or I should improve myself here and here.
Well, it's hard, Dmitry, because you have another guy trying to hurt you in these fights.
It's hard, of course, but only like this you can improve yourself.
So, do you have a date at this point, Dmitry? I know fans are wondering, they want to see you return to the ring. Have you been given a okay as to when you're returning and who you're fighting?
Uh, we have uh, we have couple opponents with whom we are talking about. But this question is better if you ask Vadim. Vadim knows better
Any news on
about the
that end,
name,
Vadim?
about about the names, about the date. It's better to talk with Vadim about it.
Hmm.
Yeah, Marcus, just like right now, we're very close to trying to finalize a date for the latter part of December or beginning of January in the US. And it's looking like, Chicago was discussed, maybe Florida, most likely Vegas. And we should have more information by the end of this week or next week. The main problem really is the opponent, and that's why there's the whole holdup in trying to finalize this because at first we spent a lot of time trying to make it work with Munguia. That went back and forth, and there were just some issues on the weight and trying to work it. And I understand from Munguia, the only upside here for this fight is that they're both on the zone, and Munguia is another Mexican. He's a tough guy. It's a good fight, but other than that, it's hard to make it because he's still coming up from 168. We have to meet him either halfway or go down to 168, which might not be the right thing right now. So that kind of that has been holding things back a little bit. At this point, we have Hot Rod. There's a guy from Florida, Radivoje Kalajic is his name. He's the guy that fought Beterbiev before. There's also discussions of maybe Ronald Gavril. He's the guy that fought Benavides before. I'm sure you've seen him on Showtime before. I don't know where he's at or if he's how much he's in the running. We added him to the list. I know there's discussions of Ahmed El Biali, and Lyndon Arthur was another guy that we were trying to figure out if he'd be interested. But it just seems like most of these guys are just a little bit in their comfort zones in a way, so we're kind of just I'm waiting for Matchroom and the guys to see which guys are actually interested in the fight, but that's the bottom down list right now.
And that is Vadim Kornilov that is helping out with translations and giving us this information, the manager of Dmitry Bivol. With not a lot of opponents, Dmitry, does that make you want to move up in weight?
I tried to think about it sometimes. Maybe in the future, yeah, but when I hope I will reach my goal, and of course I need to do some step move up to achieve something else. Maybe it will be cruiserweight because I saw the fight. I saw the fight Ramirez against Smith. Yeah, why not? If they can do it, why I can't move up?
How soon do you see that happening, Dmitry?
When I got more fat, when I get more fat. No, to be honest, I don't know. I just need to finish with my weight class, and then I will think about something else.
Yeah, there's the one fight that everybody wants to see.
Because even in my weight class, I'm not a big guy. Usually, I'm smaller than all my opponents. To fight in cruiserweight, my weight should be more than 200 pounds. But usually my weight is less than 200 pounds.
Yeah, that's tricky because I think a big advantage you have over the people in your weight class is you're a lot faster than them because you're smaller
Yeah.
for the weight.
I don't think that this is my biggest plus, you know. I think it's more about some boxing IQ, I hope, because I believe that boxing it's not about speed or power. It's about your technique, your skills.
No, certainly
Of course,
that's
you should have some power and speed, but the main thing is your skills.
no, certainly like you're how technical you are is one of your biggest advantages. I was just mentioning speed because you are a lot quicker, and you moving up, if you put on weight or muscle, you might lose that speed in a new division.
Yeah, I could, but I don't want to think about it now. It
Marcos,
will take too.
yeah, we brought up we brought up in the press before, you know, David Morrell, who's he's like the, you know, I guess he's the middle. Is he the champion or is he the mandatory? I think
He's
he's the regular
ranked
champion.
high. Yeah,
He's
yeah,
the
yeah.
mandatory.
No, it says I just opened it around WBA World Super Middle Champion.
Okay.
So I guess
Well,
he's like the regular champion below Canelo.
yeah, there's only
You know?
one champion at 168 right now. Dmitry, you beat him, and that's Canelo. But you said you had brought up the name of Morrell for a potential fight, Vadim?
We brought that up, yeah. We never heard back from any of those people. I mean, he fought. I'm looking right now. He fought in April against Falcao, Yamaguchi Falcao.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see. I mean, I don't see anybody else on the list that I would say that, you know, qualifies him. And he fought Aidos before that. Aidos Yerbusuhuli, Calvin Henderson, Aliantes Fox. And he's fought some guys, but at the end of the day, he probably is just not ready. He probably is just not ready. He hasn't fought anybody of this caliber, but he's the man. You know, he's just a guy that you know, Canelo will say that we tried to, you know, not take some kind of offer that he said, but you know, there was no offer, obviously. And if this fight was being discussed, you and I know this was going to be discussed well in advance. It's not like you go fight in Mexico and then you say, "Oh, we sent Bivol an offer and he wanted too much." But at the end of the day, that was just all talk. You know, that was just all kind of good PR, trying to tell the fans that, you know, I want that fight. But the bottom line, I think, before we talk cruiserweight, and you asking like when is that going to happen, I think it's easier for Dmitry to go to 168, and I'll let him speak for that and see what he says. But I think that there's some bigger fights out there for right now at 168 as well.
No, of course. That was what I was going to get to. I know you mentioned in the past that you would move down to 168. You wanted to fight Canelo at 168 to get the undisputed titles. Is that too much of a sacrifice to go back down to 168 now that you have had a lot of time at 175?
I think it's easier to move back on 168 than to move up. For me, it's easier with my weight. Of course, it's easier.
You know, given that, then.
But you didn't ask me about 168. You asked me about cruiserweight. This is why we were talking about it. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
About 168, we were talking a lot before.
Well, yeah. You said, you know, opponents. You know, you pretty much almost clear out the division. The one fight that we want to see you at with that 175 is Arthur Beterbiev. I would imagine you are confident that that fight happens. He had an injury for his fight. He's fighting at the beginning of the year. How soon do we see that one, Dmitry? You and Beterbiev?
I every time hope next fight. But of course he has fight, and I ask my team every time when we can do this fight, how we can do it, and Vadim, tell us please about
Marcos. It's just you know, right now there was a medical situation, as you know, right? I mean, as far as I know, Beterbiev had some kind of an injury or jaw injury. Obviously, that pushes things off. He was supposed to fight in August. Now it's January. It seems like it's not a big deal, but that's like almost half a year. That's a long time. So now we have to fight in December, January, and then talk about that. But as far as I know, some of the conversations I've had with Matchroom and Top Rank regarding this, as far as I know, if all this comes together, they're ready to do it after Ramadan next year. So if he wins, if he beats Callum Smith in January, it will be, I think there will be very serious discussions about this fight happening in, May to July of next year.
Oh wow, okay, that's good news. What do you think about that, Dmitry?
I like it. I need to make a fight too, and then in June or July to make a fight. It's better June. It's great. I would like to do it, of course.
Be perfect timing. It would be perfect timing, I think, if all that happened as planned.
Yeah.
And we're trying to see if the Saudi Arabians or the UAE, Abu Dhabi, like that's almost our second home after that big fight. We got very close with all the guys in Abu Dhabi, and we're hoping that we can come back there and make this. This can be one of the biggest fights in boxing. I mean that would be a great location as well, considering their appetite for big fights.
Yeah, no, I would imagine that's a fight that you want, Dmitry. But after his Jermell Charlo fight, Canelo was asked, "Hey, what next opponents do you want?" He said he doesn't care, but his trainer said Dmitry Bivol, Jaime Munguia, or David Benavidez. How strong is there a desire to go and have a second fight with Canelo at 168? And does that rank higher than having an undisputed fight against Beterbiev?
I didn't take as a serious, to be honest, too much about a rematch with Canelo, because it was only talking. It was just words, and I have my own way. Of course, it's better to fight in my weight class for 4 belts. Yeah, but if they want a rematch, it's not enough just talking. We need to do some moves, and we know who should do some moves. It's not me, because I'm ready to fight. But I don't care about it too much. I'm just focused on my weight class now, and on the fight against Beterbiev. It's a great fight, to be honest. It's for me as an athlete, I see him as a great fighter. He's very big puncher. He's the most biggest puncher in boxing today, not only in the light heavyweight class. And for me, it's like interesting to check my skills against opponent like him.
Curious, were you impressed by Canelo in that fight with Jermell Charlo?
To be honest, I didn't see all fight. I saw a couple rounds, and what I saw, I expected. I expect that he will push him, and but I didn't expect that Charlo will not confident too much. He wasn't confident at all, to be honest. What I saw, it's my just personal opinion, and Canelo won. It's just we expected it.
No, yeah, a lot of people would agree with you, Dmitry. People said that he fought scared, he fought not to win, he fought not to get knocked out, Jermell Charlo. But others have brought up, hey, Canelo should have knocked him out. He's the smaller guy.
He's the smaller weight class, but if you see in the ring, the Charlo looks bigger than Canelo. Who told it that she should knock him out? It was good end of the fight. He just won.
After, though, he said that he's 100% now, and he alluded that he had been not at 100% in his previous fights with John Ryder and with you, and that now that 100% Canelo beats everybody at 168, that no one can touch him at 168. What do you make of those comments?
To be honest, I didn't see something new. It was how he was before. It was the same for me. How I see. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's my opinion. He didn't show something new, some combinations, I don't know what else. He was used the same weapons how he was using before. Maybe inside of him.
Go ahead, Dmitry.
Maybe inside of him, he felt more confident. But from outside, I couldn't see. But he had a great job against Ryder and against Charlo, of course. Good job.
Vadim, you were going to chime in on something?
Yeah, sorry about that. I think on the Showtime, on the feed, one of the commentators said that Charlo was exactly the same size and weight as Bivol on fight night. And if I didn't mishear, maybe it was just size, but I think he said that they were exactly alike on fight night.
Yeah, he puts, all fighters put on a lot of weight after the weigh-in, close to 20 pounds.
What his weight was in the fight?
I think I read something or saw something that he said that he was around 175.
Around 175. Okay.
What are you thinking there?
They were fighting a 168. It's good. It's good. He didn't gain too much weight. Yeah. But it's good. I don't understand fighters when they gain around more than 15 pounds just for one day. I don't understand how it works, to be honest.
Well, yeah, a lot of people would be like, "Yo, Dmitry, though, but you fight at 175. How can you make 168? You're you've been full at that weight."
How? Because when I go on the scale, I had breakfast and then I go to weigh in. And during the fight, my weight is like around, how many pounds is it? 185 pounds, maybe maximum.
Maximum, wow.
And of course,
you'd still have to lose about 15 pounds.
82 and a half, 83 kilos.
Yeah,
I
about
don't know how many pounds.
8 kilos, 8.5 kilos to get to 168. Yeah.
No, Vadim, переведи, пожалуйста. Sorry, Vadim, translate.
How many kilos in?
Well, no, I'm saying he would have to still, if he's weighing like 185, he still has to lose close to like 15, 16 pounds to make 168. Is that feasible at this point? He keeps saying that he can make it 168 easily, but man, that's a lot of weight to cut.
Он говорит, что ты точно можешь сделать, учитывая, что 185 паундов весишь в день боя, а тут надо 168 взвешиваться, что как бы много надо скинуть.
Now I got your question. In normal life, my weight around 190 maybe pounds, and to make 175, it's easy. I'm just starting my training camp, and my weight goes down. And I know a lot of fighters who's fighting at 147, and they are losing their weight more than me, more pounds than me. and I feel like I'm not tired. I'm not dying when I do 175. I feel like I have something. I can cut more,
Mm.
but I don't want to do it because it's a little bit
It
annoying me.
sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember these feelings in amateur. You
Mm.
know,
Angry,
I made
annoyed,
a lot.
hungry.
Yeah, and I was thinking about only food, drink. I didn't think about my fight. But now when I become pro, I moved a little bit upper, and I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying the process. I'm not thinking about food. I'm thinking about how I will be in the ring. Of course, if it's big reason to make 168, of course, if the belt's there, I will push myself. I will do 168, but for good reason,
Okay, so
for belt.
you said you weren't impressed too much from Canelo. That he showed you the same. So I would imagine you're confident in a rematch that you beat him again. Does it look any different though? Do you feel in a rematch you're even more dominant to a point where you could potentially stop Canelo?
Uh, to be realistic, of course, I don't feel like I will do better or I will do worse job because uh, because it was more than years ago. We changed. Sometimes you could change just in a couple weeks. You could be different, and it doesn't shows you if I beat him once, I will do it easier second time. Maybe I will be more confident, but I don't know about my physical condition. I don't know about his physical condition. It's still interesting fight. It's still a mm, big challenge for me.
If you want to chime in also on this next question, Vadim, but Dmitry, you could go ahead and answer first. So then, how do we get the rematch? Then, what needs to happen?
Vadim, what needs to happen?
Boxing is unpredictable, you know. It's hard to say what needs to happen, but anything can happen. But we don't need to get the rematch. I think
Mm.
Dmitry also said that. I mean, right now the focus is to try to get a fight in December or January, and then just focus on Beterbiev. If Bivol is the winner of that fight and he's the undisputed unified world champion at 175, you know, before we talk cruiserweight, we'll probably talk uh, super middleweight. And with everything that's happening in boxing today, you know, we just look at the news. Look at what Showtime, you know, with Showtime going out of business. You know, HBO did that before. You know, everything that's happening, anything can change every single day. There could be some new turns around the corner that we're not expecting that could change the format. But I know one thing. As far as the rematch with Canelo, what needs to happen is Canelo needs to be basically in the corner, and he has to have no other choice except fighting Bivol, because I don't think he will ever do it unless he has no choice. I think Bivol is the very last boxer that he would want to fight again, or
Yeah.
fight overall.
So when it was being discussed, they had mentioned that you guys were just asking for way too much money. Is that accurate at all? And would you make of those comments when they started, his team, Canelo's team, started saying all that?
You know, nobody
Maybe
asked
we
me
had
about
yeah.
about it. Nobody. How much do you want? Nobody asked me about this.
There was no conversation. No, I mean there was some talk, but it
Yeah.
was like more. It was like a 2-3 minute conversation. Nothing
Oh wow.
serious. No, you know, no specific date or numbers or anything like that.
Okay. Well, hey, like you mentioned,
But he told it.
yeah.
Well, Marcus,
Maybe his team
Marcus,
didn't
yeah.
didn't tell him all information
Mm-hmm.
because he was so confident when he told it. Yeah. Uh, but maybe his team didn't tell him the truth that they didn't talk to us about. I don't
Marcos,
know.
I think he had to. I think he had to change networks in order to avoid this rematch. And that's just my personal opinion. That's not.
Yeah,
That's not Dmitry saying. That's just my personal
that's your
opinion. But
personal opinion.
yeah, it's more. It's
Yeah.
and at the end of the day, I understand business. I understand he had to. He got a good deal and all of that. But at the end of the day, if anything, we could have discussed doing this fight on any network, right? That's not. That wasn't discussed either. And on top of that, when he went to sign over with the PBC and Showtime and all of that, do you think that Bivol was being offered anything from that side? I doubt it. If it was being discussed, it was on the DAZN side at that point. Just to be more specific, I mean, at the end of the day, PBC and Showtime had their own plan for who Canelo would fight, and Bivol wasn't one of the fighters on that roster. I mean, you heard what I heard somebody saying from that side, that they didn't think that Bivol was a real top level fighter, or he wasn't an elite fighter or something like that. So those are the things that you understand, that there was no offer, there was nothing specific. This was all just talking to the press.
So Dmitry, then you feel that it's all talk also, that like Canelo doesn't really want to rematch you?
I think I don't think about it, to be honest. I just don't care. I think about my career, what he wants, what he really wants, what he doesn't want. I don't have to think about it. I have to think about what I want.
Given this whole time off, Dmitry, I know it's frustrated. I know a fighter who is active is a happy fighter and a dangerous fighter. But do you see it at all as a way that you gave yourself a chance to heal up from injuries or to get better in any other areas?
Vadim, translate, please.
Ты считаешь, что этот период сейчас был как бы на пользу, что это было хорошее время чуть отдохнуть, восстановить себя, какие-то травмы и так далее?
I try to think about everything positive. I think about, like, if I got this pose, it's better for me. And to be honest, it's really better for me. I think everything what happened, that God gives it to us for good reason. Maybe today I will not realize that it's good, but tomorrow we will realize that it was good. And I'm glad. I'm a happy person. I have a good health now, and I'm hungry for fighting now. Yeah, it was a pause, but I had the pause before, 1.5 year, and then I got a couple fights, and I become the best fighter of the year. And I hope something waiting me in the future too. It's not just better reason. It's not just something bad happened. It's for good reason.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it too. And sometimes these situations are blessings in disguise. The extra time off gives you time to just recover both physically and mentally from doing this sport, a very hard sport, for such a long time.
Yeah.
To go ahead and finish off the interview, Dmitry, what do you want to tell fans about your return, about what's been happening with you? What would you say, last message on them that are awaiting your return and want to see you back active, fighting multiple times in a year?
To be honest, I'm not the person who loves talking. If I don't have something actions, I don't like talking about nothing. I'm not good in this stuff. I'm not like Tyson Fury, who just good talking and make something news. I just could say that I'm training. I'm still training, and I still have my goal. And if you like my boxing, just be a little bit patient, and I will come back in January, and I hope we will see good fight.
Well, yeah,
and thank you, and thank you everyone who supporting me, who's messaging me, who believes in my skills, who likes my style, and thank you.
Well, thank you for giving me the time to talk to you, Dmitry. And yeah, fans are looking forward to undisputed fights for you, either at 175 or at 168 as well. That is Dmitry Bivol. Dmitry, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye, Marcus.